a beautiful evening here in Kampala. We are the Tonny and Tim Show. We're back. I'm Tonny.
And I'm Tim.
Welcome back from that lengthy break there that we had of the international football.
Yep.
That was very, very scintillating. We had a lot of action there in those 2 weeks that we had. Big news there, especially here in Uganda. The Uganda Cranes qualifying for the next edition of the Africa Cup of Nations that will happen in Cameroon next year in July. Very big news there. The Uganda Cranes have not conceded a single goal.
Yeah, Tony, that's massive. It shows you how much progress that Uganda has gone through with the previous coach and the current coach, Sebastian Desabre too.
Very well deserved there. The Uganda Cranes, we applaud the boys for doing their best. And of course they went to Nigeria as well and had a nil draw where they displayed very good football. And of course over to Europe we had the UEFA Nations League rounding up as well. We now know the 4 teams that will be playing in Portugal in those semi-finals. We had very interesting football.
Yeah, very interesting, Tony. I thought England went through well deserved. Portugal went through. Their group was not that strong. Netherlands, Tony, well deserved getting the draw in Germany.
They've improved so much.
It's to improve, Tony. And then Switzerland being the surprise package in the last 4. I thought the 5-2 win over Belgium was amazing for them. And that, Tony, only that result makes me have my pick for them.
Very interesting. That Switzerland game against Belgium was very blistering.
Yeah.
5 goals coming there after Belgium had led 2-0. So it was very interesting outing for most of those teams. We now know who has been relegated and who has been promoted to those sides. We brought you most of those select results on our social media pages, but we turned our eyes on the Jews coming on the weekend. Chelsea will be traveling to Spurs at Wembley. Very mouth-watering clash. This is a big Wembley derby.
Yeah, Tony, it's a big one. What a way to come back. With all due respect to the internationals, Tony, there's the feel that the aura we get from the leagues, and especially the Premier League, and coming back to Tottenham versus Chelsea, it is what everyone wants to watch on the first weekend of the leagues.
And of course, that game comes to you late on Saturday evening after we'll be having a lot of action there. But looking at both these teams, Spurs come into this game in 4th place, just 1 point behind Chelsea, who are currently in 3rd place. Chelsea are the only unbeaten side in all of Europe's top leagues in all competitions.
Yeah, they're unbeaten, and I think it's well worth what they're doing. We know all the Sarri ball, Tony. They're playing it well. Jorginho controlling the passes. The statistics say he now has 100 passes, more than the next player all over Europe, Tony. Just a huge statistic there. But Tottenham, Tony, welcoming a side like Chelsea. I think, to me, having lost to Liverpool, having lost to Chelsea at home, that is the Wembley, Tottenham will be looked at this game as a game where they need to show the fans that we are able to match the big boys. You've said they are on the 4th position, just a point behind Chelsea. You look at Chelsea not having lost the game, and yet you're just a point behind. So they should be able to go into this game looking for a result, to me.
Very interesting there. We come into this game, of course, Pochettino versus Mauricio Sarri. We've seen Pochettino over the years. We know how well he has done for Spurs. Deservedly putting them in Champions League football almost every each of the last 3 seasons. So it's very interesting to see how far he has moved them. But this season they seem, even with the very blistering start, maybe compared to the rest of the sides, they don't seem like they have been scoring a lot of goals. They've been having a few players switching off at very critical moments. Harry Kane is the player that hasn't yet been as blistering as we've seen in the past season. They've had Eric Lamela coming in bits, as well as Lucas Moura, the Brazilian, showing a bit of what they can do. But they certainly need a lot of goals in this particular one. They come into the game on positive 10 and Chelsea's on positive 19. So that shows you that they still lack a little bit going forward.
Yeah, Tony, they are not scoring. You've mentioned those names, Moura, Lamela, Son there. They have to step up. We've mentioned before, you cannot let Harry Kane all the time determine the results of this Tottenham side. And I think Pochettino should be mentioning this repeatedly in the dressing room, telling them what they need to do. And if they get this call well, then they should have a good go over Chelsea.
This will be very interesting, of course. We come into this game with Chelsea having its own very blistering players. Eden Hazard in particular is a player that also had a very good outing during the international break. Unfortunately for his Belgium side, they were unable to capitalize there after leading 2-0 against Switzerland. but he still is the main man at Chelsea.
Yeah, he's the main man, Tony, without any doubt. You need Hazard to be in that team. Morata seems to have cemented the upfront pairing to support him, though you need still more from Morata. Just like Tottenham, also these guys, Tony, seem to be dependent on Hazard. And Willian, Pedro, when he comes in, they have to help get goals. And
they need to step up.
They need to step up, and then Chelsea will be the real force. We've seen they've dropped off, Tony. 4 points off Man City is a big gap, especially when you talk about Man City.
Very interesting. Of course, now we go into this game with the main players.
Yep.
Where do you think the battle will be won? Because these teams play very, very possession-based football, but very quick.
Yep.
You see the way they transition from defense to attack.
Yep.
It looks to be very quick.
Yep.
Will it be the defense of Tottenham, or will it be the midfield of both these teams that will decide how this game turns out?
Tony, I go for the defense because we've looked at Tottenham in the previous fixtures. They've been partnering the world with Foyth, Tony. I don't think Foyth has the ability to play in this game. And the bad news for Tottenham is Kieran Trippier is out, so they bring in Serge Aurier. I'm not sure Serge will be able to match up to Eden Hazard. So if that space is utilized, Tony, then Chelsea might have an edge here. I just see Vertonghen is back in training, so maybe needs to partner the perennial defense there, and maybe they can have something.
It will be very, very interesting. Of course, I think the midfield will decide it, because we've seen the midfield pairing. We know that Spurs have been having a bit of injury problems in the midfield. Dembele is out till the new year, so they might have to go with Harry Winks, partnering with Eric Dyer and Moussa Sissoko, a player that I think, while he has played admirably and runs the midfield, he's not the kind of player that you're looking to have a very, very good possession of the ball in the midfield. I think Jorginho, Kante, who has signed a new contract, by the way, for a long-term contract with Chelsea, and Kovacic might be looking to boss things in the midfield. So it will be very, very interesting. I've gone for 2-1 Chelsea.
I think this will be a draw, Tony. I've gone for 2-2.
Very interesting there. That game comes at 8:30 p.m. East African time. Last game of the evening there in the Premier League will be very, very mouth-watering. We can't wait for this game to happen. Please share with us all your predictions on our pages. We'll be waiting for them, and we'll be back after the break with more of the predictions.